Yeah.
Or if I'm like
We are live-ish.
desperate for help with 7.
Right.
Help.
There, there was there was one. I guess it was last week. This is pre tow,
Yeah.
but we were wrapping up DTNS, and it was something like, no, no, stop it.
It's probably me.
Something. Like it was something like that. And Tom was like, guys, I gotta go. Yeah. He's like, he's doing something, and Eileen needs help. She needs backup.
He's just, I don't know. One day
He's just
it's
a
like,
wily coyote.
yeah. Oh, you know
I'm
what?
just gonna say, parenting is hard. Pet parenting, child parenting, parenting,
hard.
parenting is hard.
It's really hard. I'm like, yo, you can't bite that. He's like, watch me. I'm going to. Oh, you said no now? I'm going to do it later.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's like, when it becomes like 5 times, you're like, seriously, dude? And then, I'm like coming around with the granny apple spray. He's like, ooh.
Oh,
Kai
the
loved
granny
the
apple
granny
spray.
apple. Kai loved the granny apple spray. It was an attractant to him.
He
yeah.
doesn't like the motion. I don't think he cares about the taste. He just doesn't like like when it comes out. He's like, "Whoa, yeah, I'm out of here."
What is this
not
alien
going near
technology
that.
you have?
Yeah, but like the taste of it. Actually, we gave him a taste of hot sauce. He loves it. He's like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah,
give me more."
That's your dog.
that's how Kai was too.
Tapatía, whatever it was. I was like, "Oh man!" Like every single dog of ours.
Kai
done
was
that
such
with
a
Otis.
food-oriented dog, like a food-driven dog, that it didn't matter what it was. If he could eat it, he wanted to eat it.
Oh yeah, that's true
Yeah.
too. For 7.
So hot sauce, the bitter stuff, it didn't matter. None of that. It was
Doesn't matter. No, it just if it's a treat, it's a treat.
Yeah.
On our
Put it in my
walk this
mouth.
morning, we go around. It depends, how much time we have. But if we have no time at all, it's like we go basically like 3-block radius. Just kind of we do a little circle. Same thing every time. And somebody had some fun over the weekend because as we're walking around, and like we're kind of because I had to do headlines this morning, so I have to just sort of get in the chair early. And as we're walking down the block, I don't really notice because I'm just trying to, get through it. And Otis is just like pulling. I'm like, what are you pulling for? And then I realize it's like a whole big KFC thing of
Oh no!
of chicken bones.
Oh no!
Like
Otis is
maybe
really
not
good at
KFC,
finding
but
chicken
something like
bones.
that. Chicken bones, like dogs should not, because they'll splinter and it's the whole thing. So I'm pulling him, I'm yelling. Somebody else is sort of walking by. It's like 7 a.m. and they're sort of like, "Ooh, your dog is crazy." And I'm like, "It's the chicken bones."
Can't you see?
Why did somebody leave them on the sidewalk? Like, you're just asking for trouble at this point. Oh, yeah.
Man. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
Seven
like,
will-
he's usually very well behaved unless people leave chicken bones on the sidewalk.
directly in our path.
Right. Directly in our path on the sidewalk. Not even like on the,
That's
gutter.
like-
Not even on the other side of the road, like on our side of the sidewalk.
Yeah, like I'm like, who's just sort of like, yum, 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 that was good. Drop. And then,
And it wasn't like one; it was like a whole meal worth.
yeah. And Otis
Was there
is just
biscuits?
like, whoa!
I know, right? Like-
I want them. And so
Hey,
we're yelling.
original-
I'm trying to wrestle one out of his mouth. It's
Oh
nuts.
no, he got it to okay. Original recipe is really good.
Yeah, I got it out, but it was, it was sort of like, this is like me being like, I'm awake. 15 minutes later, I'm wrestling chicken bones out of
Yeah.
my dog's mouth
Yeah.
around the corner.
100%.
That's the
kind of a
problem, Sarah.
Monday.
That's the problem.
There's-
You went too early. You didn't give other people a chance for their dogs to choke on the chicken bones.
Yeah. You're right, Amos. My timing was off. That's the problem.
Not the chicken bones in the street or on the sidewalk. That's definitely not. It was your timing.
It's my timing. Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
god.
lesson learned. Well,
Yeah.
just so you guys know, I have to wrap up right around 3. So
good.
if we wanna get this party started, I
Let's
am
do
gonna
it.
just run to the bathroom super quick. Be right back in a
Okay.
flash, and then let's do it.
Sounds good.
All right.
Just watching my 7 cam. I think he's stirring. I think he heard me talk. He's like, why are you talking? Why are you talking now? I should be with you. I tried actually because he's wearing a cone. He can't really get into stuff. So I was like, you can come into my office now. I've done a lot of puppy proofing. And he's like, yeah, I want to be here.
He found
and he's
where
like,
it wasn't
yeah, I'm
puppy
out.
proof, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. And then like, now he really can't get into anything. He can't jump or whatever. So I'm like, you can come in here now. We can hang. And he's in here for a little bit. He's like, all right, this is boring. I gotta go.
Yep.
Like, really? Okay. You can finally hang out in here. I'm not gonna freak out that you're gonna bite every little cord, every little thing.
Do you
It's like,
realize how much I'm missing out by not sleeping out there?
I know. He wanted to sleep in the kitchen, actually. I was like, oh no, you just go to bed. Go to the bedroom. He likes the the cool tiles on the kitchen floor. And he had probably all the smells, all the crumbs on the floor or whatever else is,
Yeah.
in the kitchen.
I found a TikTok that was Elmo looking out a window and says, "You ever be somewhere and just feel like I could be napping right now? I could be taking a nap.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh, that's just my life."
All right. I don't know what you were laughing about. Couldn't hear you.
Oh, you know.
Elmo, Elmo
Naps.
looking out the window, dreaming of napping and cursing under his breath.
Yeah.
Elmo,
Elmo,
the Sesame Street character.
yeah.
Okay. What? What? Okay. All right.
It was a TikTok thing I found.
Oh.
Elmo looking out a window.
Elmo memes, they tend to come around, you know?
Elmo's looking out a window and goes, "You ever be somewhere and just feel like I could be taking a nap right now? I could be taking a blip nap."
I hear that, Elmo. I hear that.
All right. I'm going to disappear once I have everything set up right because I never do on time.
All
There we go.
right. And
then,
hi to everybody in chat. We
Hi,
see
guys.
you. Hello. But yes, good stuff.
All right. I am ready. Count yourselves in.
All right, will do. In 3, 2. Welcome to Apple Vision Show, episode 35. Eileen Rivera, how the heck are you?
I'm hanging in there, Sarah. Hanging in there.
Hanging in there.
We are about to
what-
embark into October.
We are. Embark.
Embark.
Apropos. So I heard your dog had a little mishap over the weekend.
Yeah, he's a little extreme in his jumping. He's jumped over our couch. He's jumped over every. He was just
He's
kind of.
into parkour. Come on.
He
you
really
know?
is. Parkour is his thing. So he kind of fell on his back paw in a little odd way. So he fractured his pinky toe. I've never had a dog fracture their bone. And I thought, oh, aren't puppies a little bit more flexible? And then I go to the
Right.
vet,
Like,
and
are the
she's like-
bones even bones at this
And
point
so-
of their life?
Our vet's like, oh, they're a little bit more fragile at this age. I was like, oh God, because we used to have Django, she used to do these huge leaps, never broke her bone. Sawyer, no one broke their bones. 7 at 5 months. So the poor little guy is wearing a cone only because he's bandaged up. Luckily, it's not broken; it's a fracture, so you just have to bandage up. But it's like a 6-week process, and you got to go back in.
Yeah,
Got to go
yeah.
back in and rebandage because he's
Well,
already
and it's a
kinda gnawing
dog,
at it.
right? So the dog is
yeah.
just like, I don't like this. Take this
Oh,
off. I want to
he's-
run and jump.
he's very upset at the world right now. And, it's day 3. And today he's lifting his leg, but he's like, let's go. And he's running. I'm like, yo, you need, need to chill. Trying to tell a 5-month-old to chill. I'm like, well, this is just our life. We'll just, I don't know. I have to like
your
sit
life.
next to him so he could
Yeah.
like gnaw his bone because he can't really use his paws to hold and grip, the bone. So I'm
Not
like,
his
okay,
own
let me-
bone. His
his little
toy
stick
bone.
bone,
Yeah. Yeah.
and like things like
Aw,
that.
Kid.
So yeah, it's like another new thing. I'm like, okay, with this dog,
Yeah.
who knows,
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's one of those
it's fine.
universe things where you're like, why universe? But then afterwards you're like, okay, I learned a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, listen, this is Apple Vision Show. Eileen Rivera and I, Sarah Lane, are happy to bring you Apple news with some sprinkling of dog news because we care about dogs and cats, at least at Shay Lane, very much.
Yeah.
Episode 35. So, all right. So, lots of Apple news over the last week, and some of it is a little tangential. So
Yeah.
let's walk through some of this. One of the biggest news items from last week was from Facebook Meta Connect's announcement. There were a few announcements. One was that the Meta Quest, the Quest 3 is getting a price drop. There's going to be a new version of the 3S, I think it's called, and basically a very, very affordable version of something that is not directly comparable with the Apple Vision Pro. It really isn't, but a lot of consumers feel like, well, I mean, I'm not buying, something over $1,000 if I only need to pay, $299 type thing.
Right.
What did it jumped out to me, and I think a lot of other people, was Meta's Orion AR announcement. So this is a concept. This is not something that you can like buy tomorrow. Even if you're a developer, we're not. This is not happening just yet. However, Mark Zuckerberg on stage had the concept version of the glasses that are they're glasses, just
Yeah.
they look like glasses that aren't sunglasses type thing, and they can project through the arms of the glasses specific content onto the lenses that then you see. So very, very AR experience type stuff, not VR experience type stuff, which I am still, I don't know. I'm very bullish on VR because I'm like, you want to put that thing on? I don't, if it's Apple Vision, if it's the Apple Vision Pro or it's the Quest, those are the only two that I've ever tried. So that's, the only two that I can compare them to. The Apple Vision Pro is far and beyond the better product, but the Meta Quest has just more developers working on it. And it's also a lot cheaper. And like, that's the thing I use when I work out. I mean, I'll, long as I don't break my pinky toe, I will, jump around with that thing. And like, it doesn't really matter that it's not like the best quality because it serves its purpose. You know what I mean? It's kind of like saying like, oh, do you have like the best weights? It's like, I mean, I don't know. Are they 5 pounds?
I have a third party. Yeah, I bought them on Amazon. I mean, there may
Yeah,
not
it's
be like the best brand, but they work. They're,
They work. Yeah. I mean, and that doesn't, sometimes third party stuff isn't as good as the flagship item. But for the most part, it kind of feels like Meta is doing some interesting things. And there have been rumblings about Apple not really, kind of missing the mark here on the market, so to speak. So
I see. Yeah.
So the whole idea with Orion is you're wearing these glasses. You can have stuff that are beamed, into your eyes, and there are also supposed wrist-based interfaces, so you can do certain things that end up, so you don't have to be touching the glasses all the time, through your wrist.
Yeah.
Like go back, go forward, that kind of thing. And very, very interesting. Not happening anytime soon. But Eileen, I wanted to ask you, knowing what we know, really, gosh, I mean, it's like almost a year into this sort of new AR VR situation that that we're in with Apple. What do you think?
Well, what's interesting is, this first slide here from Meta, and you see this woman sitting with her her Ray-Ban glasses. They're kind of, I don't know, these are not Ray-Ban that I'm putting on, but they kind of look like these.
They do.
First of
yeah.
all,
Yeah,
first of
very
all,
similar.
I think this is much more friendly to any user. Second of all, what I'm seeing her do here in the 3 panels is very, very similar to what I had done with the Apple
The
Vision,
Vision
Pro.
Pro. Yeah.
Is very similar. So, and that's why I was really interested to hear your take on how this is different. And even Tom, my husband, said, no, these are different. I'm like, but these pictures, from a consumer standpoint, I'm like, this seems like the stuff that you would do on the Vision Pro. Take away now, you take away the fact that when you watch movies at TV, you've got the nice little setup and it's dark and, you can really make it like a home theater in your eyes.
Yeah.
I don't think you could do that with this, but the practicality of this seems a little bit more pleasing to me.
Well,
and if
more
I
practical, more practical,
Totally.
right? It's
I
like,
can-
are you going to wear a Vision Pro out and about? I mean, I did it. I was relatively embarrassed and people thought I was weird. It's like, I don't know, maybe we get to a point where nobody cares anymore and they realize that like, no, you can see, you haven't blinded yourself type thing. You're not, living in some alternative universe. It's some sort
Yeah.
of hybrid between the two. But if you wear glasses, sunglasses, regular glasses that, don't have shades, that is not not an issue.
No,
I
not an issue
even
at all.
I went to brunch yesterday and it was, light outside and light in the place. And it took me a few minutes to be like, oh, I should take off my sunglasses. Why am I wearing my sunglasses? Because it was just like they were comfortable. It was normal.
Yeah.
Like nobody cared.
Yeah.
And I think so that is the form factor I think we should be going for. However, I think that especially because I've spent a lot of time with the Quest and several iterations of the Quest. Like what is right, how do you block light out? If I want to play Tetris Effect, it's like, no, I can't do that with sunglasses. Not right now. I can't. Like there's too much real world. Like you want to go somewhere.
You want to go. You want it to be dark. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like you said, with the Vision Pro, even people who say, I don't really know who this is for, say that the, immersive experience of watching a movie, say, is amazing. And I agree.
Yeah.
That's kind of all I use it for these
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
If I'm like, all right, I've got 2 hours, let's do it. Let's do it right. It's
Right.
fun. It's great, but it's I'm going away for a little bit rather than I'm getting contextual stuff as I navigate the world. Very different.
Yeah. I think this, you wouldn't be doing that at all. You wouldn't be immersive and watching a movie. And if you watched a movie, maybe it was just like a quick video on YouTube or something like that, but it wouldn't be anything that you could be immersive because you're going to be able to see everything, right? But I think
Yeah.
this is more of a working, like check my text messages or,
Yeah.
even like instead of using my phone, I'm going to use these glasses to record stuff, That's kind of nice. I don't have to hold up my phone at the concert the whole time, just like
Right.
tap my glasses and then I get the action directly the way I see them, with the eyes. I could just see some, the video conferencing much more pleasant. You look better. You don't have those like what is it called? The faces that we made to give you that profile on Apple Vision Pro. those fake
faces we made?
the fake faces so that you could do video conferencing.
Oh, right. Yes.
Persona.
Gosh.
Thank you so much. Personas are
Personas.
so ugly. You don't need that. You can just see each other with glasses on. It's totally fine. I just think for an everyday kind of thing, and I'm imagining. I know this is expensive right now as developers, but I'm imagining that at some point the price point would be much more. Maybe it's $500 or something like that.
Yeah.
That's doable. That's totally doable. Like if that's what happened, but like $3,000 for, what so far is the best takeaway, which is watching movies and videos, that immersive thing. I don't see why I need that yet.
That's not going to sell anybody. I mean, if you're a
Yeah.
developer, if you are a tinkerer, if you're people like us who are like, hey, we're doing a show about it, we gotta get the thing. Then it might make sense, but for an everyday use, it does not. I'll tell you that right now. It just doesn't, unless you just really want to watch movies on your Vision Pro, which okay, maybe that does sell it for you. And I even said this when we first got the unit, and we're just kind of checking it out, what's good, what works, could I work using this all day type thing. And the answer every time for me was no. But I could see where it could make, if somebody, let's say you just don't have a setup where you live for like a living room and like a cool big TV and, sound system type thing.
Yeah.
It's like you can truly like lay down in a closet, watch a movie and feel like you're in a movie theater. I mean, it really is that, it is that good. But how many people want to do that? Your mileage may vary.
Yeah. And does this make Apple at all kind of look at their strategy and maybe change it? I'm wondering. What do you think, Sarah? I mean, I'm just kind of like, ooh, this is kind of, I feel like that's what the form factor is what I want from Apple.
Yeah.
Can they put the technology? I mean, maybe there's like a cover that you have on these so that if you want to do that immersive experience, you can just kind of clip it on and then clip it off if you're just going to do everyday use around. I don't know. I mean, it just, the whole goggle things is like, that's pretty massive on your face.
It really is. It truly is. I know that some people think, well, so this is how we're going in the future and everybody else has to get used to it. I find it to be embarrassing. Like I don't want to wear, any, it's not even the Vision Pro, but like my Quest, like, no, I'm doing my workouts in the comfort of my own living room, which by the way is not very large. But, like, no, I'm not, this is not something where I'm like proudly like strutting around like, ooh, look at me. I got a cool, like if I have like a cool Apple Watch, I'd be like, hey, look at me, look at my cool Apple Watch. But no, this is not the whole sort of being in the real world is, I think, the real sticking point that a lot of companies are trying to figure out, where it's like, I mean, speaking of watches, and I know we're going to talk a little bit more about your Apple Watch experience, Eileen, but, the watch is a great way to supplement the iPhone. It gives me notifications. I have 90% battery right now. It's 83 degrees outside because I have all my complications. And I am well behind where I should be for my exercise rings for the day. But it's like there's so many things that you can do with this. But if someone's like, that doesn't work for me, something on my face makes more sense. I think that, I don't know that that's going to be the way that everybody goes. I think that's going to be a good choice for people to have once it really becomes a smartwatch competitor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess we'll see, I think this is a very interesting, concept, and I'm glad it's out there because, potentially it'll, and probably Apple's already thinking about it, but maybe push them. Competition's always good. right? Maybe push them in a way to make these like, and there are reports that they want to make the Apple Vision Pros much more affordable, but like, dude, economy is not great.
Yeah, like, and then it's sort of like, okay, so you do that by bringing down the quality, right?
Yeah.
To make it more affordable, because Apple's not just going to do it, for no reason. It's
Right.
like, so then it turns into a conversation, which again, I think Apple will probably, this is me, market this day. I am predicting Apple will say, that was always a developer device. It was never a consumer device.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your feedback, and we don't care. Here's our new one, and that will be a more affordable device that would compete more, side by side with something like the Quest. That's what I think Apple will do in whatever Apple way they do things.
Right.
Also, speaking of things that are potentially coming, Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, we love you, Mark Gurman, reports that Apple is planning to launch a new OS called Home OS, based on tvOS for the Apple TV, along with smart displays sometime possibly next year, so 2025. 2 smart display models might be being developed. One would be a basic screen with features like FaceTime, smart home controls, something you could put in your kitchen or in a corner. Higher end version with a robotic arm that can move the screen to face you or follow you and be more of a home companion, I suppose. So yes, we again, this is rumored stuff. We might see something like a cheaper version of this next year. I think that's really smart of Apple. tvOS, I've been all in on tvOS since the first Apple TV, and it's all I use. And well, that's not true. I use WebOS on one of my TVs in my house, but tvOS way better. And and yeah, the idea that it's more of a smart home hub, I don't really know what that would mean specifically. I mean, I guess I could control the smart lights that I already control through that, kind of like a HomeKit thing. It feels like a reimagining of HomeKit.
Yeah. I mean, they have things here, right? On the Engadget article, you could see a mock-up, whether or not this is real. Speakers and TV, water, energy. Like, okay. I mean, there's things that, you can already do like that, but I don't know. I mean, I guess having it all in one device, cleaner, could be better. Yeah.
I know. I think you and I are both just sort of like, okay, let us know.
Let us know when you show up.
Yeah. And then tell us what's good.
Yeah.
Because we sort of have ways to monitor water and power already.
Yeah.
Granted, it could be cleaner and, sleeker. And, Apple's great at that sort of thing. But yeah, until we get there, we're just not there. All right. Before we get into iOS 0.1, let's take a quick break. All right, Eileen. 18.1. What do you say?
I've been living with the beta for a while, and I have now turned off the beta on my phone because I just don't like it heating up so much.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Was a problem for me.
It's over. It's trying too hard.
Trying too hard. So, and I even turned it off on my iPad because that even got really overheated. So, just using 18.1, some of the stuff is really good. What I actually really like is super simple. When you're recording video, you can actually pause while you're recording video. So it's not going to create a new video. You just pause and then reposition or whatever.
Oh, it's as if you cut.
As if you made the cut.
Made a cut.
So you could technically make a cut video with just your phone without going into any editing at all.
Oh, I love
If you
that.
do it properly, it's really handy for content creators. It's actually one of my favorite new features on the camera itself. Now, the camera button, I'm still getting used to up here for the iPhone 16. And I have now since taken off the camera on my lock screen. You know how you have the two options at the bottom of your lock screen for an app? Took the camera off so I can force myself to use the new camera button on the 16. That's a hardware feature, not a software feature. But I think some of the like fun, I like the text messaging, the like, I don't know, the funky, the dramatic font text that moves and all that stuff. I barely use it, but it's
Yeah.
just mostly because
I like it. It's like,
it's
why
fun.
not?
It's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like emphasize your point, and now you have more options for stickers and things like that, or notifying like how you feel about a message, although it's sometimes really small to see. Like I had like a little sticker of 7 that I put on as like a notification to yay, but you can't, like, my sister's like, is that 7? I'm like, yeah. It's like, okay, it's really small. It's like this little white blob. You can't tell what it is. So I'm like, all right, I'll just use the heart. For you, you don't even know what it is. It looks like just some white blob. And then like some of the notification summaries can be helpful depending upon what it is. It's like, oh, okay, I've got 3 messages in the queue, or the top 3 messages, and like, ooh, Google's up on stock. Great, that makes me happy. Versus getting some other notification. But I like that. I like the cleaning up photos. I like the option just erase things in the background. I'm not
the cleaning up photos part is it's interesting to me because there's a real, this is just like an old school get off my lawn part of me where I'm just like, well, no, you had to take a good photo in the first place. Like you can't just take a photo and just erase things. However, one of my favorite things to do is take pictures of other people's vanity license plates.
Oh.
And I mean, in Los Angeles,
so many.
You just walk out your door and you're going to get one. I just love vanity plates. And why? And, like, why did you choose that? What does it mean? Sometimes it's very obvious, other times not so much. But I'll be like, I'm driving, so I'm sort of like, click, and there are times where I'm just like, I can't post this. This is a horrible photo. So to clean up,
around
a little bit, for my my vanity plate situation. I mean, it does come in handy.
Yeah. What do you like, Sarah? I mean, there's so much. I mean, I could go on about the making the movies, which I don't love. Yeah. I don't think it's not doing what I want it to do. So I'm like, oh, I'm still gonna have to do this manually. That's fine. Just, yeah, I'm curious. Like, is there anything?
The only thing that, sometimes with these updates, I am just sort of like, I already have. I know how I live my life. I don't need to like change it up too much. I have sort of rigid schedules, but the summarization of texts and even emails, I think is very important. That does help me. And I, anything that is sort of like, let's help you, I don't know, be more productive without you like signing up to a new service to help you be more productive. That kind of stuff sometimes feels a little overwhelming to me. Like, I don't know, I already have, I have a way I do things. Yeah. But stuff that is already part of the way I do things, that actually has, I think that's pretty cool.
The writing tools where you could make it more, you can highlight what you wrote and make it more professional or casual or friendly.
Yeah.
So those are kind of fun. Now, I actually haven't used Apple's, but I used on Instagram. I used Meta's version, and it it had an option for funny, and it made it funnier. And my friend laughed when I sent the message, and I was like,
Really?
it made it snappier. Like I had a thought that I thought, ooh, da, 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 da. And then I'm like, well, what would Meta say? And I'm like, oh, it's actually funny. And I said it, and she's like, oh, that's so great, funny. I'm like, okay, I don't think you know I use Meta, but it was, my intention was there.
Right. It was like it still came from your brain.
Yeah.
But it just punched it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of thing.
So I'm going to use that. I'm going to try the Apple version, knowing that, okay, Meta had a pretty good response for me. It was literally just a reply on comments. And so I just saw the option. I'm like, I don't know. Let's see. And I'm like, okay, pretty good. Better joker than me. Like than me.
So all right. So yeah, 18.1, fairly new. If any of you out there have thoughts, feedback at applevisionshow.com is where you should send them. We would like to know who's using what and what does work for you. Yeah, is it productivity? Is it, one of the, camera upgrades? Is it, something in between? But what I want to know from you right now, Eileen, because I'm still just jelly that you've got the Apple Watch Series 10. How's it going?
It's going. Now, I am quite sad. I did a search because I was like,
great response. It's going. I'm very sad.
Well, I was so excited to try the sleep apnea thing. And there's a bug. There's a bug going on right now with Series 10 and the new iPhone. And people are like, oh, I fixed it by unpairing and pairing again. And then I saw a bunch of people, well, I did that. It didn't work. And then some people are like, well, you just wait for the next update. It'll work. Because it just stopped working for some people doing the whole sleep apnea test. And I'm one of them. And because I was like, wait, I'm staring at the directions. This is how you turn it on. I'm like, I don't have that option. I go into my health checklist and try to find it. It's not there. Everything else is there. EKG, blah, 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 all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm really disappointed that I can't try that right now. That said, this thing lasts all day. Like I don't have to charge it. I put it on the charge for like you said, like an hour.
Yeah.
And
it's like maybe an hour. And this is, and I'm rocking the Series 7. So,
yeah.
People are like, oh, really? Like that? Yeah. I'm like, honestly, like I can be like, I need to go on a hike right now. Oh, shoot. My watch is almost out of battery. Put it on the charger. 45 minutes later, it's completely charged.
Yeah. Now, I thought I still have to work on all my notifications because I do like getting notifications, but I put my phone and all my devices on sleep mode from like 10 to like 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
And one night I was up this weekend and I just ding, ding. And I was like, oh, this, because it's so bright. It's a beautiful screen, right? And I was like, wait, why am I getting notifications at all at, 1 o'clock in the morning? It woke me up. I was like, whoa, this is weird. So that's just user error. I just have to kind of figure it out. But
I have the same user error. So let me know what's going on, because sometimes, like my watch will just be like beep, beep, like I can feel the vibration and I'm like, I think you're telling me that I'm supposed to stand up because that's what you do 10 minutes to the hour every hour. But like I have put you to sleep from 10 to 6. So it's like, don't do that. Now I'm awake.
Exactly. So it's kind of annoying. That happened over the weekend. And like I said, like this face is so much brighter. I love that I could see and read things more clearly on this watch because it's just slightly bigger and maybe the resolution's better. So that's what I love about it. And of course the OS is nice. I just started really kind of working on it like almost a week ago. So I'm, tabulating all my workout schedules, and I haven't even put like medications I have to, to just whatever it is.
Right.
And, like,
Yeah.
adding all that stuff is, it's a lot of work, to set up, but once
It's also
there,
very personal. It's like, you
Yeah.
don't have to do that. You can have an Apple Watch and just be like, I don't know, I want to count my steps.
Yeah.
Or I
Yeah.
want to look at the weather, or, get, phone notifications
Yeah.
on my wrist. But yes, you can go several layers deeper. Which I love. I love.
Yeah.
That's why I wear this thing all day, every day, because I
Yeah.
feel like the data, which I can, choose to share with my healthcare provider or not,
Right.
but it helps me. It helps me feel like, okay, I know what kind of human I am today. Like
Yeah.
yesterday, my
Yeah.
dog Otis and I went on a 4-mile hike. That's a pretty long
Ooh.
hike for us. Yeah, 4 miles. Like when it was like split 4, and I'm like, yeah. Like I love the exercise part of it.
I think I don't know. I think because it's slightly bigger, the fact that it's thinner is kind of lost on me a little bit, but it is thinner. And also this weekend I just sent all my, this was a trade-in, right, for this new watch. So I just deleted when you erase all data and do all that to your old device, you're like, wow, you did so well. Thank you. But it was
I
kind of
know.
sad. And I
It
did that with my
is, yeah.
iPhone as well. I was like, I kind of waited a little bit late, and I'm like, no, these got to go. I've got to just cut the cord, and they both have to go. And I did it, but it felt, I don't know if you feel that way out there, Sarah, and everyone else out there, when you trade in or let it go, unless obviously it's broken and doesn't work. But when you let something go that's been very good to you. I mean, the watch was kind of funky at the end because it wasn't really charging and stuff like that. But it served many years.
I know.
I think you still have your service guy.
There's a certain anthropomorphic quality to this. We name our devices. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
it's just like Sarah's iPhone, which mine probably is right now, or Sarah's Apple Watch, like whatever, like when I sign into iCloud, whatever. But like other people will, you give your device a name. It's something that you're with all the time. It's like
Yeah.
owning a boat. You give
Exactly.
it a cool name, and
Yeah.
then you feel really sad when that boat has to go out to pasture.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I also have I hope I did everything I needed to do before erasing this. I'm like, there goes, I think I had at least 5 days of syncing, all of that. I think everything's there. But you reminded me, we talked about naming our devices. I haven't done it either. It's still Eileen's
know.
iPhone 16 Pro. Boring. So boring.
I know. Well, so this kind of sends us into our next story, which is that apparently somebody's Ferrari, a very expensive car, sports car in Connecticut, was stolen, and then found because the owner was able to track their AirPods, which were still in the vehicle at the time of the vehicle being stolen. Okay, so it's like, can you imagine? Okay, first, can you imagine owning a Ferrari? No, I am not in that position in my life. But let's just say I had a very expensive thing that got stolen.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I wonder where that expensive thing went. And then I look and I say, it's right down the block. Yeah, in that garage, because my AirPods are still in the glove box. I mean, I say cha-ching, except, and listeners of Apple Vision Show know this. Several months ago, I lost my own AirPods, and I was able to locate them in a nearby apartment complex and never got them back because I was like, what am I going to do? Knock on 40 people's doors and be like, do you have my AirPods? It just seemed weird. Had to chalk it up to the game pretty much. But if you are looking for your stolen Ferrari,
Yeah.
You know, make sure you might have a hidden AirPods Pro in the glove box or wherever it was, so that you can track down your car later. This was funny. This one came from Amos. I didn't
Yeah.
actually see this, so Amos, kudos to you. I
Yeah.
had a good laugh. A good laugh because the Ferrari was recovered. I'm not
Yeah.
laughing because it was stolen. I'm not laughing about that.
But hey, it's just another reason to get AirPods. If someone,
Yeah.
like
Just don't lose
steal
the
your-
AirPods
yeah.
themselves, because
Yeah.
then, what are you going to do? Just
if
knock on
someone-
40 people's doors and be like, "Hi, do you have my AirPods?" Like, no, we're not.
I
doing that.
have an AirTag in my luggage.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
we traveled
that's-
last time, so that was nice. And I just kept it in there. I haven't taken it out, so I see it. It's like located in your house. Like, yep, because my luggage is in my house, so it's good to know that it works. But I did remember seeing like, oh, it was tracking on this plane, blah 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 blah, and all that stuff. So I don't know, but AirPods too. Like if you have some in your purse and someone steals your purse, sadly, maybe that's a way to find your item. But I'm really glad that this person got his car back.
Yes,
So,
yes. I mean, I am so happy that the Ferrari owner got their car back. I mean, I'm being cheeky.
I know.
If you can afford a Ferrari, fine, have one. But I'm like, all right, well, interesting that your AirPods saved you in this, in this scenario.
I hope you're a good.
And
I
also,
hope you're a good
and
person.
also, who stole your car? I mean, we've got bigger fish to fry here. like what? What the heck happened there?
Yay.
Yeah. Well, people like nice cars.
Yep.
Speaking of nice people, we got a nice one from Tom. Tom, who wrote in, over the past number of shows, Sarah has lamented how the updated Macs are yet to be announced, seemingly expecting them to show up any time now. There will be no Macs until the current promotion is over September 30th. Tom, it's September 30th today. He goes on to say, in the education store, when buying a new Mac, Apple is offering a rebate in the form of store credit. Until this is over, they won't be changing the lineup. If new machines were announced before this is over, then those who bought a new Mac prior to any announcement would be angry that they missed the updated hardware. Totally get that, Tom. Totally agree. I am eagerly awaiting our Mac lineup announcement, because it is going to happen any day now. It did not happen before September 30th, which is when we're recording the show. So I get your point. But yeah, a friend of mine who's in town she lives somewhere where like there just isn't like an Apple store nearby, kind of thing. And she was like, I really want a new MacBook. I think I'm just going to go into an Apple store and just kind of like do a hands-on thing and figure out what I want. And I said, do that, but also know that the thing that you might walk out of the store with is going to either be upgraded very soon or cheaper, because it's going, Apple will give it a price cut because there's a better model. For example, I'm like, do I need the M4 MacBook Air? No. I have the M1, and that thing is sailing along. I love it. Do I need a new Mac Mini? Very much so. So I'm kind of like, you have to sort of figure out like, what do you want? What makes sense? But if someone was like, hey, Sarah, do you want an M2 Mac Mini? I mean, nobody's saying that, but that sort of thing is like, that's still a big upgrade. I don't even have an M1 Mac Mini right now. So it's like, if you want upgraded stuff, this is a funny period to be in, because, again, I was like, I mean, you could maybe buy something and like take it back and then buy it again at a discounted price. And I'm not even telling you that it's going to be discounted, but it probably will.
Probably.
You know, it's like, it's that funny, we're getting into like funny holiday season pricing things.
True. Yeah. And even if it does get cheaper, the said item in the store currently, maybe you want to pay what you were going to pay anyway and get the better item.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So,
right. Yeah.
and by the way, October 1st is tomorrow, so all bets are off. Is kind of how I'm thinking
They're
as we
off.
record this.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like that announcement.
Pumpkin
is
spice
coming.
lattes is the only thing we know for sure
Oh
as of
my
tomorrow.
God. Well, it's been out, Sarah. Like, have you been to Trader Joe's lately? It has been since like 2 weeks ago. It has been Pumpkin Palooza.
It's Pumpkin Palooza. No, it is.
Palooza.
I have not been to I don't really go to Trader Joe's, but I go to
Oh,
Sprouts.
okay.
Sprouts quite a bit, and same thing. Like you walk in, you're like pumpkin. Oh my gosh, they are into
everywhere.
pumpkins, and I love a good gourd. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, it's like it's heating up. October 1st. It's not.
Yeah.
It's no longer. Oh, it's Halloween. So now, like maybe somebody puts a pumpkin on their porch. It's like no, it's pumpkin.
Yeah, and isn't like Mariah Carey coming out with her Christmas stuff already? Like I think
I
she's
don't
about
know,
ready.
maybe.
She's about ready to drop that. Like soon she's gonna drop that, and then like, well, it's over for Halloween. We've already moved on to Christmas in October. This is the way we operate in the U.S. Everybody, it's crazy, but like
I'll tell you, Mariah Carey, never did anything smarter than All I Want for Christmas. Truly.
She
it really has a phenomenon of its own.
100%. And she's milking it, and she knows that people love it, and she's like not ashamed, and that's the way it should be. Own it.
Yeah.
I think it's a good song. It's
a good song. It's
not
very peppy.
the other thing, just tangentially, pumpkin, there's also a lot of maple in the store. I think I'm more of a maple person than a pumpkin person. I'm
Like
loving
maple syrup?
maple
or
butter,
maple leaves?
maple, like maple syrup, but like there's maple butter.
It's like another orange themed thing type
Yeah,
thing.
and so think of pumpkin, but like it's all maple and like maple cookies, maple. You know what I mean? Maple.
I'm into that.
Maple,
sounds good.
I think, is better than pumpkin. I'm so sorry for pumpkin lovers. I don't diss pumpkin. I've got a lot of pumpkin in my. I bought the pumpkin butter, but you know what's better? The maple butter. I'm telling you right now.
The maple butter's better. Oh no, that much I'm sure of. And I love a good pumpkin pie all day.
Yeah,
I love pumpkin. Pumpkin also good for dogs. Not every dog.
Yes.
The dogs are different, but settles the tum tum. With people as well. Unsweetened, of course. Just straight up pumpkin. Puree. But yeah, I'm into both the maple.
maple coffee.
Maple almond butter I have tried.
Oh,
And Eileen,
that sounds amazing.
I can't buy it anymore because it's too good. I just eat it.
You just eat it all day. It's like too tempting.
Yeah,
Okay.
even I do like a little like tiny coffee spoon where I'm like, well, just like a very small bite,
Yeah.
tiny,
Yeah.
teeny tiny, and then like 14 teeny bites later, I'm like, okay, I have to get this out of here.
This is too much. Too much.
I can't
much.
stop. I can't stop.
Yeah.
Maple. How about that? Well,
Yeah.
Canada, congratulations
Yes.
to you.
That's yes. And like, East Coast, right? Isn't there a lot of maple and like am I correct in like the northern east?
Yeah,
No?
there's got to be,
Maybe?
right? There's got to be. Yeah. It's not
Why
like
do I think of
maple
Connecticut
leaves are
a
only
little
in
bit?
Canada.
No, I know. Why am I thinking of like
I feel like Vermont probably has a lot
Vermont.
of maple things.
yes, that's what I thought. And then you reminded
Yeah.
me that it's really Canada. I'm like, oh right. Either way, I love maple.
We love
everything.
maple. We love maple. We love lamp. And we love all of you. Reminder, if you have feedback, anything you want to listen to, anything you've heard, have a question or comment about, do send it our way. Feedback at applevisionshow.com. And we'll be back next week doing it all again. Episode 36 coming right at ya. But for now, have a great week, everybody.
I see some of these suggested titles. We love Maple and you. Congratulations, Canada.
I mean, Canada always wins. You know, it's the only reason we make fun of Canada is because Canada is so cool.
Yeah, I know.
You know, it's like you got maple leaves, you got, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Hockey.
G. James B says Canada with a little
Canada.
with a
With that tilde.
Canada.
with the thing over the
Interesting.
end. Canada.
Oh, that's fun.
Canada. Yeah.
Oh, Canada. Oh my gosh. So good. So good. I love lamp.
Well, we were we were talking on DTNS last week about I guess it was last Wednesday because it was Scott Johnson that he's never seen Anchorman.
Oh my god.
He's just never seen the movie, and like he's such a he's a movie guy. He's like, I know it's not like for any reason. I just haven't seen it, and I'm like,
yeah.
But like people have said that to you. I love Lamp, and he's like, oh, totally. I know it's from the movie. I just don't know why, and I'm like, oh, man, you got to watch this movie.
You gotta watch that movie.
It's just little things, it's not even like a huge cultural shift, but just little things.
Oh my god.
A friend of mine came over yesterday. She'd never been in my house before, and she was like, I love Lamp. And I'm like, ha. And, it's like that was the only, we didn't have to go into some long thing about the movie. It was just, I'm like, I get what you're doing. Got it.
Yeah.
Funny. Yes. Yeah. That's funny.
It's right along the lines of, did we just become best friends? Yep.
Yep.
Brick killed a guy.
I'm so bad at remembering lines, so this is funny because at least I'm remembering them, but I can't come up with it myself. I'm so bad at dialogue.
I've just seen that movie.
One of my funnest experiences was taking the younger twin and watching Friday with her because she'd never seen Friday.
Oh, Friday. Yeah.
She knew all the memes, but she'd never seen the movie, and we were just the entire time. I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
That's one of those movies where I saw it initially because I'm like, "Oh, Ice Cube," and I was like, "I don't know, is it funny?" And then it became sort of like a cult classic, and it would play it people's I don't know, not a dinner party necessarily, but everybody goes over and it's like, let's watch Friday. It'll be fun, and everybody's laughing and you're like, oh, okay. Anchorman sort of, I feel like it ages in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine wine-esque where you're just it's ridiculous and sort of not that funny. And then you're you just lean into it and it's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
I have the groups of people as friends that will, you'd go over to their house and be, just hanging out, having a couple drinks, stuff like that, and somebody pop on Friday. Or the other group of friends where you'd be hanging out and having a couple drinks and somebody would pop on Firefly and just start watching a Firefly marathon in the middle of a party.
Mm-hmm. Just have it on in the background. Yeah. And then just every once in a while, if something iconic happens, you're like,
both of those groups. Yeah, that's where I floated.
I love those, the Firefly or some other, episodic thing where everyone sort of gets quiet and is like, okay, next one. Yeah, we're all into this.
Do it again. Go again.
Go again. Yeah, I've got 4 hours. Come on, keep going. I like this, which is fun.
I don't.
And it's not even necessarily going to be the best show you've ever seen, but it's it's fun. You're with friends. It's camaraderie type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. If you could, everybody go in there and vote for titles. I put the link in there. It's showbot.tv/DTNS2. Go vote for some titles. I'm glad a lot of great titles in there. We're gonna need some help choosing. So get in there and vote.
Good stuff, everybody. Good stuff. Darn stuff. Well,
Thank you, everybody.
I need to mosey on with the rest of my Monday. So does anyone have anything to tell me before I go?
love lamp.
No.
I, lo-
I love lamp.
I love lamp. I love lamp.
Oh,
That's funny.
good
I'm gonna watch
gourds.
Anchorman. I should probably watch it tonight. I would have so much fun watching that. It's just
Somebody
so
said
funny.
good gourds. Good gourds should be our.
Good
Good
gourds. That's funny.
I'm just gonna give that a vote, even though I feel like I love lamp.
Love a
in way.
gourd. Love a gourd. Love a good gourd.
Alrighty. Cool. Well, bye, chat room. We'll see you later. We have to sign off before you can leave, Sarah. I think.
It'll
right?
do. All right. We are out of here.
Bye, guys.
Bye. See you next week.